Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I was caught with my mic down. Sorry about that. Not that you noticed it, because as soon as I saw that introduction roll up, I was like, "Whoa, it's showtime!" That's right. I'm like the Beetlejuice of pastors. That's right. Don't say it 3 times, or I'll come in your face, or something like that. I never saw the movie. Sorry about that. At any rate, good morning, brothers and sisters. Today is October 6th in the year of our Lord 2024. That's right, October 6th. It's just a little less than a month away for people to vote their conscience, or vote my conscience, which is better than your conscience, because I'm a minister. You can trust me. I got a collar. So good morning, brothers and sisters. And this includes our new members who may be joining us for the very first time. Or those of you who may be joining us for the last time, and not because you're leaving on your own accord, but because nobody lives forever. And we don't know what they got in heaven. They may not have the YouTubes. You may not be able to watch us there. And if you do watch us, don't say anything, because some things you may watch and see may not be what we want you to watch and see. That's why people get paranoid around ghosts. They close the door, lock the windows, turn out the lights, and hope nobody can see what they're doing. So thank you for being here. Like we always say, you may not be where you want to be, but you are here today. That's all that really matters. So welcome to the Church of Last Resort. And I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, a PhD, DDS, ADHD, MTM, LIX. People have also called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile, vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, that ass man abbot, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the freaky friar, and that nasty N-word. I keep telling them, call me Miss Jackson if I'm nasty, but they say, nope, we don't want to call you that. We're not calling you Miss Jackson. You nasty N-word. All right, that's okay, as long as they call me. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. Lord have mercy. So let us get this thing started as we always do, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Oh, yeah! So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to be a little bit discombobulated this morning. I'm going to tell you now, let me start the prayer. Or let me do this disclaimer about my disclaimer. I don't have my disclaimer about how prayers work up here because I didn't upload it into my little prompter so that I could remember the words. I don't remember all the words. I have like little clues. See, people say, how do you remember all that shit? I don't. I have clues in my prompter because I'm too lazy to type out whole sentences. And so my clue says disclaimer, but I usually type out the entire thing for legal reasons, so I get it word for word each time. So this is my disclaimer about my disclaimer. So here's my disclaimer, as best I can remember. Although all prayers are answered, they may not be answered when we want them to be answered, but they are answered. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. So if we could please close our eyes, unless you're driving a car or your significant other, and in that case, don't close your eyes. Don't bow your heads. That's it. Bow your heads. And if you're with your significant other driving the car, then don't bow your heads. Then just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving for a while. See, it's much better when I have it written out. And I forgot. I didn't. I was a very busy boy this week. Very busy boy. So, Lord, let's start our prayers. Dear Lord, please pray for my wife, Amona. We did a show last night, and she didn't have time to eat proper. So we went across the street to eat at a place that is not up to her usual standards. My stomach can take it because I go out and I often eat at places that are beneath my standards because of the nature I'm in. I'm in the entertainment business. Entertainment and saving souls. So quite often I find myself in clubs or venues that do not serve food that are up to most human edible standards. As a matter of fact, UNICEF would say, we are not serving these children this. I know they're starving, but do you have something better? Grasshoppers, toads, beetles, something with a little more protein. So last night, my wife ate not crickets or locusts or anything like that, or chocolate covered ants. No, she had a hot dog with onions and French fries. And then she had the case of getting rid of the hot dogs and the French fries in an untimely manner. Let's just put it that way. And then say flush, rinse and repeat. And she's still rinsing and still repeating this morning. So please pray for my wife and for my nostrils. That's all I'm saying. All right. So pray for Mona. So Lord help her. Lord help her. Mm-mm-mm. Pray for our family. We have family and friends down in North Carolina, in the Asheville area. It's a beautiful city. I've been there a number of times. I love that place. It's really, really, really nice. And I pray for our families and friends down there. Our family and friends made out okay because they made out decent, much better than the rest of the place. That I don't think they're seeing this because their internet is still spotty. But if you go through all of that shit and you still have your house and you've got the power back before everybody else, and you didn't experience the flooding, and you just complain about the internet service, you're doing pretty damn good. But in the meantime, my brother Eli had to be hospitalized. And so the downside is that he had to be hospitalized during this time in which everything is overtaxed. But on a good side, while he was in the hospital, he got to use the internet. So there's that. Speedy recovery to brother Eli. Thinking about you, we love you, and our hearts go out to everybody down in the southern states that are experiencing this nasty, nasty thing. Even though, let's put it this way: we're gonna have to have a chat about climate change, but now is not the time to lecture. I'll wait till tomorrow. Okay, so Lord. And also that even though they are helping other people who are less for even during the storms and there was no power, they had generators and they invited their neighbors up to use the shower because they had well water, so they had water, they had backup power, and they were feeding their neighbors and they were showering their neighbors and they were doing things. So they're good people, much better than me because I think I would have done that, but I would have charged your ass. Because, yeah, it's well water, but it still ain't free. Lord, bless the audience. Oh, sorry, that's from last night. What do you know? That's from last night's show. But I did bless the audience out there too, but you're not paying anything. So, dear Lord, this just in. Hollywood actor and America's dad, not American Dad, that's a cartoon. America's dad, John Amos, died on August 21st. What? To quote Florida Evans, damn, damn, damn. John Amos died at age 84 of congestive heart failure. John Amos portrayed the adult Kunta Kinte in Roots. Roots, sorry, not Roots. Roots. He played James Evans in Good Times, Major Grant in Die Hard 2. You know, he was the asshole colonel. No, I just said Major. He was a Major Grant. He played Seth in Beastmaster. And some of you are going like, is Beastmaster a porn? I don't know. Didn't see it. I have no idea. But whatever he did in that movie, he did it under the name of Seth. He played Cleo McDowell in Coming to America 1 and 2, and he played himself in Suits, L.A., his final role. Speaking of roles, not Esther role, millions of people cried when his character James Evans died on Good Times, but when he died in real life, nobody found out for like a month and a half. Damn. Rest in peace, James. Can I get a you were my kind of asshole? Yes, indeed. Dear Lord, bless our brother Chris Christopherson. Chris Christopherson was a Rhodes Scholar with a deft writing style and a rough charisma who became a country music superstar and an A-list Hollywood actor. And he was also an Army vet. He died at his home on Maui, Hawaii on Saturday. He was 88. Yeah. They're there. It's gonna be all right. You know, he was 88. He died peacefully, surrounded by his family, and his cause of death is undisclosed. Now, I'm beginning to feel like the only 30 or 40 people out there watching this, or at least or listening to me. So I'm going to sound like a broken record because nobody is paying attention. All right. Why are people still surrounding themselves with family and friends when they get old? Okay. 75% of all deaths occur with family and friends around. They're not stopping them. Are they causing them? I'm saying the jury's still out. So if you're old and you're fragile, do not surround yourself with family and friends. Be alone. Okay? Look at Dick Cheney. I don't know how old he is, but he has no friends and no heart. But he's still out there living it up. Living whatever that life thing is. He's living it. And he's living it with lots of money. So no friends, no family. All right? And why are people still dying from undisclosed? I just said this last week and the week before. Why are people still dying from undisclosed, and especially untreated undisclosed? Surely there's a treatment for undisclosed. All right. We can put Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court, but we can't find a cure for undisclosed or Clarence Thomas. That's just Lord. That's ain't fucking right. Ain't right. Some of his greats, not Clarence Thomas, some of Chris Christopherson's greatest songs were Me and Bobby McGee, Help Me Make It Through the Night, which I love that song. It's just such a beautiful song. That's probably my favorite song of his. Other people may have different opinions, but that is my favorite song of his. For the Good Times, another beautiful song, but it don't touch me like I touch myself or like Help Me Make It Through the Night. Feel Immortal, another beautiful, and he had many, many more. Chris Christopherson was in The Last Movie, which could have been his first movie. It was 1971. I don't know why it's called The Last Movie. Because after that, he did Cisco Pike, Pat Garrett, and Billy the Kid. He was in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. He was in Semi Tough. He was in Big Top Pee Wee, a classic. Probably should have got him an Oscar for that one. He was in Blade, Blade 2, Blade Trinity. He was in Planet of the Apes in 2001, not the original Planet of the Apes. He was in A Star is Born, and for a brief time, he was in Barbra Streisand. Yes, indeed. Rest in peace, Chris, you silver-tongued devil. Can I get a tasteful nude? Now, here's the question for you. I brought this up last night at the show. I was at a show, did a show last night, and when I did this obituary for Chris, I ended it with, "Can I get a tasteful nude?" And I asked the audience. I asked them. I said, am I the only one that remembers Chris Christopherson had a tasteful nude? And nobody in the audience remembered was that Chris Christopherson posed nude. I said, Burt Reynolds, and I asked, I said, y'all remember Burt Reynolds posed nude? And then some people kind of remember it. And so I had to I did the pose to remind people how Burt Reynolds, posed. And they went, yeah, they all remember it. But nobody remembered the Chris Christopherson that posed nude. So my question is, did I imagine it? Okay. And if I did imagine that Chris Christopherson was naked in the magazine spread, why am I imagining that Chris Christopherson was naked in a magazine? Why? I don't know. Is that something about me or something about Chris? I don't know whose issue that is. I mean, was Chris naked and nobody remembers? Or was he not naked? And if so, why did I imagine it? That's going to bother me for the rest of the day and part of the night, you know. So we're going to pray for Brother Matt, Brother Matt Napo, because he didn't say why. He just said pray for me. So I'm assuming that he was out gigging last night. He was, gigging in places that people his age shouldn't be gigging. And then he gets home like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And if he's like me, I got home last night and I didn't unload my gear. I didn't unload half this stuff here. Did you right here? All this shit here was in the car. The only thing I took out my car last night was my Bible. I'm sorry, this prayer is supposed to be about Brother Matt. So help Brother Matt. Help Brother Matt. Lord, help him unload his car. Maybe the chickens and the cats can get together and pool their strengths and their talents and help him unload his car from his gate. And if not, and he has to do it himself, please let the equipment be half as light today as it was yesterday. And I'm not saying half as light as he goes in his car and half his shit's gone because some homeless person came and stole it. I mean, half the weight. Like he still has all of his equipment. It just weighs half as much. So it doesn't take a toll on Brother Matt's back. Okay? I want my Matt back. Oh, never mind. That's not a song. So, dear Lord, please bless Pete Rose, baseball's career hits leader and fallen idol, who undermined his historic achievements and Hall of Fame dreams by gambling on the game he loved and once embodied. He was 83. He died. He was 83. Damn, what an epitaph. It's weird that your epitaph is like, he was great and his failures were great. It's honest. It's honest. It was great and had great shortcomings. It's an honest epitaph, but damn, what I'm saying? That's you live your life, you live 83 years and that's what they're going to say about you. You were good at what you did. You just fucked up. Okay. All right. I'm not shaming. At least it's an honest epitaph. Rose was found by a family member. The coroner will investigate to determine the cause and manner of death, but there are no signs of foul play. Really? No signs of foul play? Then why isn't he in the Baseball Hall of Fame? You must have found some foul play. All right. Have it your way. Rest in peace, Pete. Your game has been called on account of whatever the coroner finds. Can I get better odds? Dear Lord, please bless Brother John Ashton, best known for his role as the by-the-book detective in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. He died at the age of 76. Ashton died on Thursday in Fort Collins, Colorado, after a battle with cancer. I don't know what kind of cancer. I'm just reporting. Sorry. Rest in peace, John. No more bananas in the tailpipe. Can I get some smaller fruit in the tailpipe. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo, known for his shot-blocking prowess and his famed figure wag after blocking a shot. It's like, and his sounded like Cookie Monster. He goes like, no. You just no block. Get this shit out of here. Oh. Yeah, he was iconic. I don't know how many finger wags he's done in people's faces, but at least it was his finger. You know what I'm saying? At over 7 foot, he could have wagged something else in their face. You know, he could have blocked the shot and said, whoa, no. Get this shit out of here. So, and I don't know why he's French. Probably because he's African and half of Africa speaks French because it's such a romantic language. Yeah, that's it. He died at 58 of brain cancer. Dikembe was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015. He was an 8-time NBA All-Star and won the league's Defensive Player of the Year award 4 times. Dikembe played for the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Hawks, the Sixers, the Knicks, the Nets, and for a lot of cash. Rest in peace, Dikembe. I hope this is your last trade. Can I get one more finger wag? Mm-hmm. Lord, bless brother Jimmy Carter. He turned 100. He made it to 100. And he's got one more, he's got one more thing on his bucket list. He wants to hold on long enough to vote for Kamala Harris. I hope he makes it. We'll talk about that later in the sermon. But I hope he makes it. And does he still need Secret Service? We could save a few bucks. His grandson, Carter, said that his grandfather, Jimmy, has been in hospice for 19 months. And he says that he's as healthy now as he was when he came into the hospice 19 months ago. He went into hospice because he was dying, and say he's just as healthy now as he was then. So he's still dying. Okay. So just as healthy when you're dying means you're still dying. I guess that's why his grandson, Professor Carter, will probably never be a poet or a writer, because that's some weak ass shit. At any rate, bless Jimmy Carter. He's still alive, so there's no point in me saying, can I get one more vote? Because let's say it anyway. Can we get one more vote? Let's hope he makes it. And finally, let's bless the entire Puspatuck nation that helped run this station. All right? Yeah, that's right. The Puspatuck nation that runs this station. Bless the people behind the scenes here at the Church of Last Resort. They are truly doing your work, and they're the ones that make all this possible. Without their help, I know I would not be doing this. If it were not for them, I'd be asleep, and they'd be asleep. So we're sacrificing a lot, because at our ages, we need our sleep, but we need you to be entertained even more. And we need you to appreciate the fact that we're up and entertaining you even more. Yes, indeed. So I know that he could be anywhere else today, but this is where he is, and that ought to count for something, Lord. Yes, indeed. That's right. So just forgot. My throat is parched. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to do a bump for the Lord, but no alcohol this morning. This is straight up water, okay? So a little bump for the Lord and a little juice for the throat. The funny thing is, this mic that I have is so sensitive. If I bend over, you actually could hear me drinking, and you wouldn't even need that sound effect. The mic would just pick up the gulp sounds on my neck, my throat, my gullet. So, children, let us begin and be thankful in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Fuck yeah! Lord have mercy. Now, last night, I kind of went over this a little bit, alluded to it. Last night, we had a show. Went really well. It was real fun. Exhausting. It's exhausting because it's not a comedy thing where the comedian shows up and he doesn't. Only thing he brings is jokes. He doesn't even bring his own mic. He walks up, tells a few jokes. Hopefully, people laugh and they leave. Okay. Matter of fact, I was out Friday night promoting Saturday show. I was out Friday night at the club where, the Church of Satire, handing out flyers and making nights with people. And I stayed for that show so I could promote afterwards the show for Saturday night. And I paid a heavy price. Not missing sleep. That was a fucked up show they had that night. It was fucked up. I'm sorry. If any of you are watching, I'm sorry. Y'all were bad, okay? You were bad, and I felt bad for the audience, okay? You guys, the premise may have been okay. The premise was the audience make suggestions and the comedians riff on it. They were all bad. They were all bad. That's not their forte. I've seen most of them perform their comedy, and most of them are pretty funny when they're doing their routine. But they were asked to do the audience's suggestions for routines, and that's not their wheelhouse, okay? It's almost like nobody knew that they were bad at it. See, there are people like us. I'm going to include myself because I'm fucking good at that shit, okay? I'm fucking good. You give me topics, and I can fucking riff, all right? I'm good at that. That's my strength. I know that. What am I bad at? I don't know. Singing, maybe. But I know what I'm good at. And you're not going to catch me on stage performing for people for money doing something I'm bad at. If I'm on stage and you're paying, matter of fact, if I'm on stage, even if you're not paying, I'm going to be good at what I do. All right. If I'm there doing comedy, you're going to be laughing. If I'm there lecturing, you're going to learn. If I'm doing reverence, you're going to get revved. Right. The point is that show was fucking bad. But I stayed through the whole thing, okay? And not only that, I paid my own money. I didn't even ask to be comped. I could have been comped. I could have said, hey, comp me. I'm a comedian and I'm doing a show here tomorrow night and I'm here to promote the show for tomorrow night. Comp me. And they would have done it. But then I'd have been taking money out of the mouths of the other comedians. And I respect what they do, even if they sucked at it that Friday night. I respect what they do. They're professionals. Here's your money. All right. I wish I had it back. It wasn't fucking worth it. It was so bad. I had time to notice that one of the comedians' shoe, the sole from his shoe is falling off. And every time he leaned back and lift his foot up, the sole would go like this. In the mouth, the sole and his shoe looked like this. It was just moving like a mouth. Every time he tilted back, it'd be like this. Weirdo. Like that. It looked like his shoe was talking. And I swear to God, his shoe was funnier than he was. It was like, hey, he was like trying to riff and the shoe's going, look at me down here. I'm losing my soul. He's up there losing the audience, and I'm down here losing my soul. Okay. I just made that up. That's what I'm talking about. That was funny, and that was a riff, all right? He was terrible at it. And I'm not even going to mention Andrew by name because it's wrong. And it's wrong, not because Andrew is the one who picked on my fellow comedian and brother and co-host, my friend Ron Kane. I'm not even going to, it's not just because Andrew shit on him like that. No. It's because Andrew shit on him and said he wasn't funny. And then Andrew does this. I pay money and he was not funny. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call him out by name, but at least I didn't say his last name. So you don't even know it's Andrew Glessner. You don't even know that. It could be any Andrew. It could be Andrew Dice Clay. All right. So that's all right. He wasn't funny. And that could cost me a relationship with him, but that's okay. I'm going to be honest. Okay. That's probably why GD and I don't have many friends in the comedy field. And GD can be a dick sometimes. Not me. I'm lovable, but GD, he's a dick. So we had a show last night, and we featured a new game. We featured a new game called Robin Hood. We had the classics. We had a Hungman. We played Balls to the Face. We played Pussy Putz Putz. We did not play Squirtle. We could not get a member of the audience to come up and play Squirtle. With like 5 minutes left, we had one game left, and there was a lady who wanted to play, and she was doing this with her face. And I said, "You okay?" She goes, "I want to play. I feel like I should play a game. I just don't know what to play." And I said, "Well, there's 2 games left that we have not played." And I said, "There's Squirtle." Now, Squirtle, I can't even show you that game because, first of all my games are still in the car. I'll describe it to you. Squirtle is it's Dolly Parton, the sex doll, and it's you played the game Wordle, right? Wordle, where you have like gets a combination of letters, and if you gets the right letter in the right space, it gives you like a green thing, and if you get the right letter but it's in the wrong space, you get like a yellow thing, and if none of the letters are right, you get like a red square. I think that's it, because I don't play Wordle. I haven't played Wordle for years because, honestly, it wasn't challenging. By the third guess, I'd gotten the word almost every time. Sometimes I got the word on the second guess, but I played it 6 times and it wasn't challenging, so I stopped playing. So Squirtle, you have 3 orifices in the sex doll: a mouth, a vagina, and a butt, and then you have 3 colored lollipops, 1 blue, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 1 purple or violet. And they're color coded because the orange one is for the mouth, oral, orange oral. See, blue goes in the butt. See, because of B for blue and B for butt. Now the purple one, if that depends on your point of view. If you think it's purple, it goes in the pussy. If you think it's violet, it goes in the vagina. Very simple. She didn't want to play that game, so she played Booby Bounce, I think. Or what was it, Booby Bounce? I can't remember. I think it was. Yes, it was. It was Booby Bounce, and she was pretty good. She was pretty Booby Bounce. I mean, Booby Ball, Booby Bounce, Booby Ball. We have a basket set up like a basketball basket, and she has these 2 balloons. Not hers. She had 2 balloons also, but she had 2 balloons that she had to hit with a dildo. Bat it with a dildo, or 2 dildos, because it's a double-sided dildo, trying to get the dildo into the basket, and she got it. She did second try. The first one she lost, but it bounced right off the rim. It was like a rim job. It went like this and fell out, but she got the second one. So those are the games that we played last night. Now the thing is, my research team does a lot of research, and so there's some games that we try to do, but eventually we realize that they're not going to work out. Like one game we tried that did not work out. It's called Tuck Tuck Goose. Okay, Tuck Tuck Goose. The premise of the game is you have like 4 guys standing up on the stage, and you have to guess how much tape it would take to do a good tuck job. Okay, that's it. Now we test these games in my basement, and so if it works, then we record it. Now the problem that we had with the game wasn't the tucking. The problem was my fault. Okay, it was my fault. I used duct tape because when I went to Lowe's and they said, "What do you want the tape for?" I said, "I need some tape." And they said, "What do you want to use the tape for?" I said, "For pipe. I want to, and when they said, "Well, here, use duct tape." And so when we got the men up there and we went to tape their pipe down, that was fine. It held real good. But then we went to take the duct tape off, and that was when the problem started. So, welcome, Brother Brother Stephen. Yes. Welcome, Brother Stephen. So we did. So Tuck Tuck Goose, we never made that into a game. All right. We tried. It didn't work out. There's a lot of screaming, a lot of painfulness. It just didn't work. Another game that we tried to create and didn't work was called Whack Off a Mole. Okay. It's like Whack-a-Mole, but Whack Off a Mole. You got the moles in the holes, and they're sticking their head up out of the hole, and you have to, like, while the head, but not this head, the other head. So the mole sticks his like little head up through the hole, and then you gotta like do this real quick, So and then the head's like popping up, up out like this, and you gotta do that each, guy. So, and that game didn't work because I got exhausted and the moles didn't. The moles kept going again. I was like, come on, stop. They're like, again. I was like, my arms are tired, and the moles weren't coming, so they just again. I'm sorry. So we could not play Whack Off a Mole because that game just didn't seem to end. And I don't know if I wasn't doing it right, because I'm not experienced in how to whack off a mole, but that game didn't work. So, those are just two of the games that we tried that did not work. But the games that we did do last night did work. And I'm very, very, very proud of the work that the show that we did last night. I didn't have a sold out crowd, SOULED. I wanted a sold out crowd. I worked my ass off. I promoted. I made videos. I went out to places. I handed flyers out to small businesses, and I've made a lot of friends out there. Now, I didn't sell a place out, which I really wanted, but for the audience were new people, first timers, which is a beautiful thing, which meant the other half were repeat customers. That's beautiful. That gives me, when you have people in the audience who've not only they just repeat. This is the third time that they've seen one lady. This is the third time she's seen Blessings and Blasphemy. She saw Blessings and Blasphemy 1, 2, and 3, all three of them, and she came back for more, and she had a good time each time. And then she invited people. She invited a friend. Her friend. This is her friend came, and this is her second time seeing it. And there were other repeaters out there who've been their second time coming. So that's beautiful. I love that. It's reinforcing to me that I'm doing something right. Okay, because you can get almost anybody to come out to one show, and they'll go like, "Okay, I tried it. Not my cup of tea. Or I tried it. It is my cup of tea, but they made a bad cup. I want to see someone else make that tea." But they came back out for this. I love that. Now, this is the last scheduled Blessings and Blasphemy for the year. I will see if I can find another venue. I had two other venues that said they were interested. But one of them, when they found out exactly what Blessings and Blasphemy was, they went, "Ooh, you mean you got a real sex doll on the stage?" Yes, we do. And real dildos? Yes, we do. We thought it was just, like the Church of What's Happening Now. Like a Flip Wilson thing. We thought you were doing like Flip Wilson, and you walk around going, "Lord, have mercy." Yeah. And no, because this is not network TV. I'm pretty sure that if you gave Flip Wilson that same show and said, "Do whatever the fuck you want," he'd have broken out some dildos and sex toys. See, and that's the problem. People thought, get confused, and they think that Blessings and Blasphemy is a ripoff of the Church of What's Happening Now with Reverend Leroy. No, this is not that church. No. So they reneged, and that's pretty much what I called them. I said, "Reneged what?" That's what I said. As soon as they reneged, I got on my email and I said, But nigga, please. It's not my fault. I sent you the video, and that was my fault. I should have just, something. When I got booked, I shouldn't have sent the video. I should have just taken the gig. But I believe in full disclosure. And they say, we want to book you. And I say, are you sure? See, because I do not want to create a problem for an audience. I don't want them to sell something that it isn't. I don't want them to buy something that it isn't. I believe in full disclosure. Yes, I want the money. Yes, I want the gigs. No, I don't want no shit afterwards. So, yeah. And I'm sure that there's some out there who feel me. For $5. 10 you can finger. 5 feel, 10 finger. Got to do something to make money. Now I will never ask you for money. Not outright, but I will exchange money for services. See, I'm not that kind of reverend. I'm not going to ask you for money. That's not my place. I'm not going to ask you to donate. No, I'm not going to ask you to tithe. I'm going to ask you to buy shit. That's an exchange of energy. See, you buy shit and you give me money. Okay, I'm going to ask you to do that. Sure, I want you to buy shit, but I'm not going to ask you just give me your money. I may do favors for you, but you're going to pay for them. Again, it's an exchange. So there we go. Now I want to get to today's sermon, which I didn't get a chance to write. Okay, like I said, I was fucking busy. Okay, I had shit Friday, I had shit Saturday, and now it's Sunday, and I didn't really have a sermon, but I'm going to try anyway because I think I'm good at what I do. I want to talk about turning 100. Okay, not just Jimmy Carter, all right, but turning 100. Jimmy Carter, it's nice that a former president continued, had his legacy beyond the White House was so fucking impressive. This is what you got things to compare to. When Jimmy Carter left off, okay, and I'm not knocking, believe me, I'm not knocking these people as former presidents, all right? When President Barack Obama left office, he wrote books, he did tours, and he's still politically involved. Okay, but before he was a president, he was also an activist. So it makes sense that once he got out of office, he continued to be an activist. All right, beautiful, fine. Not knocking, just stating a fact. George Bush, too. When he left office, he just said, fuck it, I'm going to paint. I'm just going to paint. And that's what he did. He fucking dropped off the face of the earth and started painting. And then once in a while, you see a picture that he did with a foot or a toe or something. Maybe a self-portrait of himself in the bathtub. I don't know. But that's how he's doing his thing after office. Fine. Donald Trump, when he left office, he was a criminal. He was doing crime before he got in office. He was doing crime while he was in office. And now that he's out of office, he continued to crime. He's still criming, okay? And so he didn't fucking change, and he's not making the world a better place. Now, what's the other guy? Clinton, he's still around. Okay, before he was in office, he was a whore. While he was in office, he was something of a whore. Now he's out of office, he's not whoring around anymore. Well, he's still sort of he's more like a prostitute. He gets paid to sell services, but he's trying to promote democratic causes, and he's writing books and selling books and making speeches. But Jimmy Carter, when he got out of office, he could have written books. He could have toured. He was a very consequential president and forward-thinking. So forward-thinking that he was a fucking threat to the next president, Ronald Reagan. Okay, Jimmy Carter had solar panels put up on some government building. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Capitol building. Could have been, it didn't matter. The fact that he says, we need to be independent. We need to look at other sources of energy. And we need to look into solar. Okay, boom, puts his money where his mouth is, puts up solar panels. And the first thing Ronald Reagan did after he negotiated, after he bought hostages from Iran, the first thing he did was remove the solar panels. Okay, had we followed Jimmy Carter's example, we would have been decades further along than we are now with solar and wind and shit like that. And look at where we are now. Just think, if we had started this and stuck with it 24 years ago, we'd be much further along if we had just followed Jimmy Carter's example. Even more impressive. Like I said, he could have sat back and did speeches. No. The man says, I believe that we should fight homelessness by building homes. Habitat for Humanity. He was probably their best carpenter. All right. Now, people may say, okay, I can see some of the people out there thinking right now. Let's get the breakdown board. I'm going to try. Sorry. This is from last night. I forgot I needed this, and this is still in the car. I ran out and grabbed this from the car this morning. This from the game Hungman, where people have basically 5 guesses to guess a 5-letter word. They have a clue. And I think it's now, I didn't see this until this morning. These are the letters that he guessed that were wrong. Okay. In the order in which he guessed them. All right. I didn't even see that he spelled out rectum. I didn't see that. My wife saw that, and Mona saw that. I didn't see it till this morning. I'm bringing this up and went, rectum? So what was the clue? Okay, the clue was, this is a child's first car or first airplane. 5 letters. That was the clue. All right. And the answer was wagon. See, because when you're a child, if you got a wagon, often that's like you pretend it's a car, you pretend it's an airplane, you pretend it's a boat. So that was the clue. And he got the A. He got the A right, but not right away. But all the other answers, all the other letters, why was he thinking of a rectum for the child's first car or first airplane? Okay, now, of course, he may not have been thinking of a rectum. That just happens to be the letters as they came out. I don't know. I didn't ask him because he was pissed that he couldn't get the word. He was angry because he was very competitive. And so he wanted to get the word right and he didn't. But he was a good audience member. He was still participating. He was laughing. He had a good time and stuck around after the show. He and his lady friend, I don't know if it was his wife or not, for a long time talking. They had a good time. Now, like I said, Jimmy Carter. This is where we're going to go because Jimmy Carter was a Bible thumper. All right. So, and there was another famous. Okay. So Jimmy Carter and Jesus Christos or Crisco or JC, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Both. Well, actually, this is a wash because Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian. He was not a Christian. He was a Jew. But Jimmy Carter wasn't a Jew. He was a Christian. So that's not a good comparison. All right. But this is what people are going to see. Jimmy Carter was a decent person, maybe too decent to be president, which is why I didn't vote for him. I thought he was too moral to be a good president because I thought to be a good president, you had to be a little bit dirty. You had to be like Lyndon Johnson in a way. You had to be able to. Lyndon Johnson once said, if I can't look you in the eyes and take your money and still say no, then what am I doing being a politician? And that's not his exact quote, but that was, because I'm paraphrasing, but that was the way he felt. So Lyndon Johnson would take money from special interests and say, but I got your money, but what you want me to do is not good for the country, so I'm not doing it. I like that. But Jimmy Carter was too decent to even do that. He wouldn't look at special. He would say, I'm not taking your money and I'm not doing what you want.
He could have said, I'll take your money and use it for good. So, like I said, Jimmy Carter was too decent, all right? Too decent to be president, which is why I didn't vote for him. Turns out we needed decent. I just didn't know that. So, we're going to say Jimmy Carter was decent and Jesus Christ was decent, all right? Fine. Here's the thing. And this is what everybody's going to make just whole huge thing, okay? Carpenter, that's not really how you spell carpenter, but I'm tired. I don't feel like writing out the whole word, okay? And carpenter, all right, fine. I said it. You know what the word's supposed to be. I don't feel like writing it. So, yeah, they're both carpenters, see? But then people are going to say, and you see, Jesus lived to be 33, and Jimmy Carter lived to be 33, plus 67. People want to see that. They're gonna force it anyway. They're gonna make those comparisons, and it's not apt. It's not accurate. Okay, let's just say Jimmy Carter was he had a really great run post president. He did a lot of good. Okay, but let's not compare him to Jesus Christ. But they're going to be doing it. You know, they're going to be somehow they're going to force it, and it's not going to fit, especially after he's dead. Once he's dead, all bets are off. You know. All your Southern Baptists, they're going to be going crazy about this. They're going to say, "Oh, you just like Jesus." You know, look, I've been there. All right, I had a cousin who was a professional criminal. All right, a real professional criminal, not like some of these, and a smart professional criminal. The problem is, to be that successful, he also made a few enemies, and one of the things. So somebody had him killed, actually somebody killed him when he was 33 years old. Okay, and everybody in the church knew that he was a criminal. Everybody. And then the minister says, Brother Hank, that's not his real name. I'm just saying that to protect his identity. His real name was Henry. Brother Hank was, his life was taken from him at 33, just like Jesus. And then his mother cried out, "Oh Lord, my son is just like Jesus." No, he was nothing like Jesus. Jesus was not stealing cars and having the serial numbers redone and run through the DMV so that the cars come up clean and selling them. Okay, that was not what Jesus did. But because he died at 33, they go, "Oh boy, Lord, my son is just like Jesus." People are no. People see what they want to see. All right. Jimmy Carter was a decent president, but his post-presidential career was phenomenal. Okay, he built homes for people who did not have homes. He didn't have to care. He had a home for the rest of his life. He used to be president. He had service for the rest of his life. He didn't have to care. He had Secret Service. He had security, but he was concerned about people who didn't have homes, who didn't have security. That was his concern, and he did that as long as he could until his 90s, I guess. I don't even know how old he was when he stopped. He may not even been. He could have been at the very end. Just holding a hammer, and someone else was like doing this for him. I don't know. And then they take a picture of him holding the hammer, and you see him out there inspiring people, building homes. He's just drooling, and then say, "We need a video," and then somebody take a rope and tie it and go like this, and it looks like he's back. I don't know. I wasn't there. The point is, he inspired people to help. He was a good inspiration. Now, and the only thing he wants to do now is to live long enough to vote for Kamala Harris. I don't care how people vote, but I hope he makes it. All right. I hope he makes it. Now, and I'm going to put this out there. If you are some Yahoo who thinks, well, I don't want him to vote for Kamala Harris, and you try to stop him, aside from being a dick, you'll just make him into a movement. All right. People go like, "We're going to vote for Kamala because Jimmy couldn't do it. He didn't make it. So leave him alone. Let him be in peace." Last night. This is from last night. Let him be in peace. Leave him alone. Now, my great aunt, Sarah Hardesty, that was her real name, from Carteret, North Carolina. She lived to be 107 years old. And she wanted to live long enough to vote for Barack Obama. And sex that she was 107 years old, and she died 1 month before she got a chance to vote for him. And I'm pretty sure, now, of course, at the funeral they say, and the Lord called her home. He couldn't have waited a month. Really? Was it that important to take her then? He couldn't just let her stick around for like 30 more days so she could vote for Barack Obama. Really? Was it that important? The woman knew actual slaves, okay? She lived to be 100 years old, 107 years old. She knew people that used to be slaves that were now freed people, okay? Would have been so fucking hard to let her live 30 more days after 107 years so she could vote for the first African-American president. Now, I'm pretty sure that God probably said something like this to her. Well, you know, he hasn't got a chance of winning. So come on home, sister. And she goes, well, if he's not going to win, at least let me vote. Just don't worry about it. He's not going to, you know. And then she gets up there and she's like, what the fuck? He won. I didn't get a chance to vote for him. You son of a bitch. Now, I can see it now. Now, the thing is, she lived to be 107. And in her little town of Carteret, North Carolina, they named a street after her. They gave her a day. You know, they honored a day. Her birthday was like a holiday in that little town. But she wasn't around for any of that stuff. All right, that was all like afterwards. And the only thing that she did want was to vote for Barack Obama. She wanted to vote for the first African-American president. And Jimmy Carter wants to be around long enough to vote for the first woman president. First woman, period. First woman of color. All right. So, I mean, we've done the color thing before. We've had a black and we've had an orange. So her being a person of color, you know, she'd be the third person of color because we had a black president, we had an orange president. So color, but the gender, she'd be breaking a huge fucking glass ceiling and be a huge, huge, huge deal for children and young ladies everywhere, especially used to work for McDonald's. You know, the specials, I want her to win, okay? Because, you know, McDonald's is going to be giving away shit. They're going to say, first female president, and she used to work at a McDonald's. You know, oh, come on. Everybody's got to be, everybody who ever ate a McDonald's burger and is still eating McDonald's, you know you want her to win. Because you know they're going to be giving away free food for that. Look, they give away free food at baseball games. They say, if your player hits a home run, or we'll give you a free slice of pizza. If your player scores a 3-pointer, we'll give you a free cup of coffee. If this McDonald's employee becomes president, we'll give you a fucking Happy Meal, a chicken Big Mac. You know there's going to be free food involved, all right? If Trump wins, the only thing we want to get for free is grief and agony, heartburn, indigestion. If Trump wins, then I guess they may be giving us Tums because heartburn abound. Lord have mercy. So yeah, let's pray for Jimmy Carter to at least get a chance to vote. I'm not saying that that she gets to win. I'm just saying let's hope he gets to vote his conscience. All right, plain and simple. So I'm thanking everybody that listened today. Enjoy yourself some Smuckers. Not that they're a sponsor, but they like to give jelly to people who turn 100. So enjoy some Smuckers. I thank you all for joining us, sticking around, and hopefully you'll be back next week. And I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. We'll find out together. But I don't have my closing prayer in front of me. Damn it. See, I'm a very busy boy last night. But on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and and everybody involved, and on behalf of my family, my wife, am on a roll. I'm on a roll. My children, Cinnamon Roll and Jelly Junior Roll. Jelly Junior. My cat, Tootsie Roll, and my dog, Stop Dropping Roll. We thank you. And we wish you safe travels. Please like and subscribe to the show. If you enjoy it, tell your friends. If you don't enjoy it, tell me. Don't tell your fucking friends. Tell me, because I can fix it. They can't. All right. And you see my email right there. Right. Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll at gmail.com. So if you didn't like the show, email me and tell me what you didn't like, because I might be able to fix it. If you did like it, subscribe, like, tell your friends, and come back next week. All right. And if you didn't like it, tell me, and then come back next week and see if I fixed it. Fair enough? You're not going to get that offer anywhere else. All right. All right. Here we go. So thank you so much. God bless you. Or if you don't believe in God, peace and blessings. Who doesn't care? Who doesn't want peace and blessings? All right. So peace and blessings to you. And in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Thank you.